Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 5. That's right, folks. The brothers are all together again. They're back, headed to New York to do classic Ninja Turtle stuff, but this time, it's more political, I guess. That's what this book implies, like it's dealing with like the politics of a mutant nation and a mutant-fearing country or city and racism, which, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's what you should do. It's not an issue that's touched upon a lot in Ninja Turtles, but if you have a bigoted politician as your central villain against outcast characters, makes sense to me to do that. Also, Casey Jones appears in this book for a minute, so that's cool. Oh, it's fun. I do like it. I think it's going to be kind of hard to live up to the momentum of the first 4 issues, but this one does a good job of like establishing our villain, District Attorney Hale. We see him in this issue like literally walking into like the courthouse with his foot soldiers at his side, his foot patrol, just big militaristic baddies that are here to help him. He gets him like disperse the mob that's protesting him because they're like, is it true that you're like targeting mutants with like your new like Foot Clan foot patrol? And he's like, shut up, I'm going to attack you all right now. That's what he's going to do. And then we get a lot of backstory from him. So he narrates a lot of this book. Hieronymus, I think it's Hieronymus is what his name is. Hieronymus Hale. He was like an average kid that nobody paid attention to. Like, he was kind of upset that nobody paid attention to him in like any capacity, not even like as like being the victim of like a bully. He was just forgotten. Nobody thought about him. He hated that. So he just took his pain, went to law school, built up a reputation for himself, hated everybody in his life. He fired all like the people that used to work for his law firm. The only people in his life who he cared about enough to be nice to, kind of, were his parents, because they were the only ones who treated him equal until the day they were killed. Now, the thing about this book, and I'm just going to say this because it's kind of like a mixed bag on this. We see a lot of like the back shots of Hieronymus looking at like everything going on. We see like a back shot of him freaking out seeing his parents' dead bodies mutilated and scratched to pieces. Very interesting. Now, I first read this as he's the one that killed them. That's how I first read it. Like, he freaked out and he killed his parents, kind of like a Wilson Fisk Daredevil idea. The book implies it was like a robbery gone wrong, and it was probably a mutant that killed them. But I immediately went to, oh, he killed them, and he's just like a psychopath that could never be happy. Either way, I think it is a mutant now. I think he's like an anti-mutant, like maybe he used to be a mutant or something, and this is what he's become. I think he had some play in their death. That could be completely off base. That's just what like I picked up from the story. But his parents were killed. He went deeper and deeper into madness. It looked like an animal killed them. So he starts to freak out and get really pissed off. He's like, all these damn muties ruining the world, getting very mutantly racist, very openly mutantly racist as well. He's talking to like a bartender, he's drunk at a bar, and then what he doesn't see is that there's 2 people behind him. They're like, we're taking you out of here, pal. And it's Bebop and Rocksteady. And they drag his ass out of there. They throw him to Karai, and Karai's in another room with her Foot Clan, and she's like, hey, look, you're a mess, but you have power, and we need you to do a task. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, okay? I know who the Foot Clan is. I know who Karai is. I work in New York. I'm a prosecutor in New York. I know who you are. So Karai's like, whatever. Look, you have resources. I have something you're going to want. So bring him in. And Karai drags in a little mutant guy. And he's like, who's this guy? He's like, isn't it obvious? This is the mutant that murdered your parents. And Hieronymus is like, what are you talking about? Hale, I'm giving you a chance here, okay? He was looking for help, and they attacked him, and he freaked out because he's a mutant. All mutants are bad. Why don't you take this weapon? I'm going to place it on the floor, and you defend yourself against the guy that killed your parents. How's that? In a terrifying sequence, we see Hale and this mutant standing together in a room, and they're both running after like this mace, and you see that Hale gets to it because Karai throws a shuriken into the mutant, and he stands over the mutant like ready to kill, like, you deserve to die, you killed my parents. And that's when Karai stops him from killing the mutant because he's like, oh my god, I was just about to kill that guy. He's like, yeah, you were. And we also recorded that, so now we're blackmailing you into thinking that you're a mutant hater. Guess what? You're working for the Foot Clan now? Put this badge on that says Vote Hail. We have resources that we're going to use, and you're going to do it. You're going to be like the face of the Foot Clan doing stuff in New York again. That's kind of sick. That's kind of sick. So as the protest is kind of like being disrupted and everyone's kind of leaving, we see a shadowy figure return with a hockey stick and a mask that's got some different lines on it, and it's Casey Jones just beating up a couple of like the foot ninjas. Oh, this looks cool. Like, I don't know, there's something about like this look for Casey. The mask is a little more like ethnically ambiguous, if that makes sense. I say that's weird to say. It reminds me more of like a mask you'd see, or like a skeleton skull you would see for like the Day of the Dead in like Mexican culture. Like, it's got some lines and like that type of mouth, not just like a classic like goalie mask, you know. It looks so sick. So he's beating them up. It takes like 12 of them to stop Casey from actually like doing stuff. Hales picks him up. He's like, what are you? I'm not putting up with vigilantes in my town. It's just a bunch of Casey spouting perfect Casey stuff like, you work with the Foot Clan, you lunatic. I know Karai's in charge. Why don't you just tell me what Karai's doing? I don't really care about you. You're nothing to me. I just want Karai. You're a loser. You're all bums. I hate everybody in this place. I hate you all. You're stupid. So we see that in a similar scene to Hale getting like the mace to beat up the mutant, he throws the same mace onto the ground for Casey. He just goes to Casey and says, look, here's what's going to happen. When I give the order, my patrolmen are going to release you, and then it's just going to be you and me fighting it out. And we're going to go for the mace. And he's like, you're bluffing. It's like, no, I'm not bluffing. You want to take this into your own hands because you're some vigilante? Sure, let's do it that way. I'm used to getting my hands dirty. So the Foot Clan release Casey. He runs for the mace. And we get like a montage of all the events that have happened in the previous stories, where we see what Hale was doing. He was using his resources, because this is what Karai wanted, to defeat the Hamato clan. And we see like where the other turtles were, where Raph and Mikey and Leo and Don were. And damn, it looks cool. This one is Derek Robertson doing the art, and it's just got that classic Robertson feel. It looks so good. So much fun. I dig it a lot. Oh, it's so cool. So we also see like a flashback to later on when Hale is at the grave of his parents, and he has the Foot Clan bring the mutant that so-called killed his parents to him, and then he beats him with the mace. Just straight up beats him. In the present day, Casey's got the mace. He's like, okay, I won. What we gonna do? We gonna beat each other up? You gonna let me walk out of here? What's this stupid shit you think you're about? And that is when Hale pulls out a gun and shoots Casey point blank. Is Casey dead? Like, I don't imagine. It's like Casey's a key figure. Can't imagine him being dead right away, but you never know. That's the surprise of this book. It could do anything. It could go any direction. We haven't seen April. You know? Where's she? Casey just showing up to be like a guy beating people up. That makes sense to me. This issue's really fun. I don't know if it's like as strong as the previous 4, but it might be because this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book where the turtles don't actually have any dialogue. But we do get a lot of classic characters like Casey, Bebop and Rocksteady, and Karai returning. So that is setting up what this, arc in New York is going to look like. And I get it. Take them to New York. That's like a key place for them. Let's see what you got. It could be fun. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 5, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.